Welcome to the PolyDip class. I'm going to talk you through the PolyDip system. It's really easy to work with. I've already prepped the nails, but I'm just going to recap that really quickly for you. The first thing that I always do is sanitize my hands and my client's hands. That's been done. The next thing I did was I cleaned the nail with a little bit of acetone, pushed back my cuticle area, evened off my free edge. I've applied my tip, I've blended my tip. I've done all my nail prep, roughened up my nail surface, and now I'm ready to start working with the product. So everything's labelled nice and easily for you to understand. We've got point number 1. This is my prep that's going on. This is my dehydrator, my sanitizer, my pH balancer. This is the one that stops any fungal infections, bacterial infections, so plenty of that one on. It goes over the whole nail and the tip if you had a tip on there as well. Point number 2, once that's dried out, is going on. This is my bond. This is my primer. This is the one that adheres the product onto the nail. It locks it in. So my primer, again, like the dehydrator, goes over absolutely everything. Goes over the natural nail plate and the tip, stroking it down and making sure I cover every little part of that nail. I always am in a habit of re-dipping for every finger rather than making what's on the brush spread over. The next point that we're going to do is point number 3, and this is where all the chemistry is. This is the poly base, this is our oligomer, this is our gel. So this is going to go on nice and thinly. If you can paint a nail, you can apply the poly base. So all the chemistry's in the bottle, I'm working it into the nail, and then I'm going to stretch it down over absolutely everything. Nice, controlled moves and extremely thin. We don't want bulk, we don't want it to run, we don't want it to float on the nail. We're stretching it over absolutely everything. Now, I'm afraid, ladies, gentlemen as well, I've got a bad habit here, the finger. I can't help myself. Even though there's nothing there, I feel as if I have to do it every time. Once we've done that, we paint that onto all 5 fingers. The 5 fingers then go into our light. They're going into our LED lamp for 30 seconds. When that hand's in the light, probably I would be going on to my second hand. So just to recap here, that's our products that we've used so far. We've had number 1, which is our dehydrator. Then we've gone on to number 2. Once the nail was dehydrated, we used number 2, which is our bond, which is our primer. And then we're working with our third product, which is the poly base. This is where all the chemistry is happening inside this bottle. This is our oligomer. Now we're going to use this one quite a few times. So I'm going to leave that one out just now. We're ready. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reapply again, nice and thin. That's the trick with this stuff, is it has to be applied thin. So nice and slowly working it and stretching it over the poly base that's already there. Making sure that I've got everything super even. Once I've done that, I'm afraid there's that bad habit of mine, can't help myself. And then I'm going to go into my powder. Here we go. Now this is my favourite colour. It's called Cloak and Dagger. There are so many beautiful colours within the range. We're going to slide and glide the finger in. We're not dipping it, dunking it, plopping it. We're sliding and gliding. So all we're doing is we're keeping the client's finger upright, and we're just going to gently slide all the way to the cuticle area and then slowly pull it back. Hold it underneath, give it a little tap, like so, and we would do that on all the fingers. How pretty is that already? Now I know you want to take that brush and brush it down with that lush brush, but you don't. It's now got to set. If we tried to brush it before we set it, we would move all the product. So I know it's all sparkly round our finger, but that has to go into the light for another 30 seconds. In it goes to set that layer. When it comes out, then we brush off the debris. Okay, so just to show you, we've got some excellent colours as well. The PolyDip comes in a clear. It comes in a lovely silk pink colour, which is almost like a clear with a hint of pink, and then it comes in that popular opaque pink colour as well. Not only does it come in the main colours for our building, it also comes in fabulous different tones for doing creative nail art things. That's Daydream, that's another one of my favourites I really like there. Okay, Here we go. So we're on, we're set, we've gone hard. I'm going to take my Lush brush and I'm going to brush off all the debris. Be really thorough with this, get rid of all the wee bits. So that's me dipped once. Now, to give me extra strength, I'm going to dip twice. So again, I'm going back onto my poly base. Now that I've brushed off all the sparkles, the excess product, I'm going on to my point number 3, my poly base again. I'm just going to reapply over everything, keeping everything nice and light, making sure I cover every part. Remember, the powder will only adhere to where you have placed the PolyDip. So make sure that you cover every part that you want it to go in. And it's thin. If you put it on too thick and you place your finger into the powder, it will wrinkle the gel. So make sure you don't put it on too thick. Thin is the key. Away we go again. So again, now sometimes the client wants to help you and she wants to jab her finger in. Sometimes I'll say to my clients to look over to the side. Thank you, client. Okay, and all we're going to do is we're just going to go in up to the cuticle area and then back down again. Tap off the excess. There we go. I would then do the next finger, dipping it in. We've got to set that, remember, not to brush it. So into the light, 30 seconds, pop my powder away. Now, when this comes out, we'll brush off the debris. Then I have to put on number 4. We've not used number 4 yet. This is my seal. This is going to make everything a nice hard compound and it's going to make everything a complete structure on the nail. So this is what's going on next once I brush it off. This will allow me then to file as well without removing any of the particles of the powder. Out we come. So there we've got it. We'll brush off. The amazing thing with this is how strong it feels when it's applied onto the nail. You can't believe that something so thin can also feel so strong. So number 4 is going on. I'm putting this on now a bit like a gel polish top coat. I'm going to make sure I cover everything. Take it around my free edge as well. Okay. And I would paint that onto all the fingers. Then that hand, again, there's my bad habit, can't help myself. Then that's going to go into the light. Madam, into the light for 30 seconds. When that comes out, it's going to have a tacky residue, which I'm then going to remove with my cleanse, and then I'm going to file it. Now, you might think it doesn't need filing, but it is going to need a little bit of filing just to refine the shape and make it absolutely perfect. This is ideal, this system, for applying underneath maybe your gel polish, just a thin layer of maybe the clear or the opaque pink, just to give it that extra strength. And if you apply this underneath your gel polish, you don't necessarily need to use, depending on the product range that you're using, you don't necessarily have to use a base coat because this acts as your base coat to bond onto the natural nail plate. Okay, so I'm going to take off that tacky residue. It's smooth, it's even, looks perfect, but I'm a perfectionist, so I'm going to go in here with my emery board. I'm going to take probably about a 180 grit emery board. I'm going to file my side wall. I'm going to file my side wall, coming over my shape, and I don't need to use too heavy a board. I'm just going over with a buffer. I'm going to come around that cuticle area. Don't want to be too heavy. Don't want it all to disappear. Making sure everything's really nice and smooth. I love these combo files. They just allow you to get right in, around that cuticle area, down that opposite side. Making everything nice and neat. If you wanted to add a third layer, absolutely you could do so and add a third layer. I'm going to brush off my debris. I'm going to wipe over it, get rid of any wee nail filings that are left on there. Now, I've got 3 different ways I can finish this off. The first way I can finish it off, the most popular way, is I would just apply my number 4, my seal, over the top, which is going to give me my high gloss shine. That's the first way I can finish it off. The second way I can finish it off is I can draw on a little French manicure with a white tip and then my seal, if I wanted a French manicure look. The third way I can finish it off is now, if the client wanted a layer of gel polish, I would be going straight onto my first layer of colour of my gel polish to go on the top of that. Obviously, if I'm applying my gel polish, I would put on 2 coats of my gel polish colour and then the top coat. So whatever way you decide to do it, you have to seal it in with something. So I'm sealing it with point number 4 because I love this Cloak and Dagger sparkle. And I'm just going to come down, stretching it over, covering absolutely everything, taking it over my free edge. There's that bad habit of mine yet again. And how pretty does that look? It's got to set in the light for a further 30 seconds to make sure that's a complete hard compound. We're then going to take a little pad again with the cleanse on it. And once we've removed the tacky residue, I'm going to give her a nice little massage with the cuticle oil, nurture oil. And then I'm going to take the money off of her.